All right, so we're here with Lake Wendourie's Kirsty Walsh and Sebastopol's Georgia Can ahead of their elimination final in the BFNL A grade. Georgia, it'd have to be a pretty exciting time to be at Sebastopol at the moment. It's so close in the last couple of years to making that top six, to finally get the finals berth. What's the feeling like around the club?
Yeah, there is a great excitement, not just amongst the netball fraternity, through the wider club, for what will be our first finals appearance since 2006. So a great sense of excitement there. As well, I guess, to go alongside that, though, is a serious approach in a way, because we have been striving for this for 4 years. Now we're finally here, and we want to ensure that we do everything right in the lead up and preparation to playing on the weekend. Sure.
And as you said, it's kind of like, it's great to be in the finals, but I'd imagine that's probably, it's not the end goal for Sebas. And you've proven throughout the year you've been able to take it up to some really good teams. I think it was might have been a Sunbury win maybe earlier on in the year. You really kind of stamped your authority. Some pretty close results even with Lakers recently. What's the feeling like amongst the group in terms of what you can achieve, not only in this year but in the seasons to come?
We've spoken a lot about short term, so for the rest of this season, what that can look like for us in terms of a playing group. We've got a mixture of experienced and younger players as well. There is that excitement there, but as you said, we know finals games are completely different to round games, and anything can happen. And it's about how we compose ourselves and focus on playing the game. We definitely know that we have the ability, as you said, to match it with other teams. We've had a great run to the end of the season, playing Lakers, playing Redan, playing East Point, and have been very competitive in each of those games. Led at times in those games, but fell away a little bit against East in our last round, and probably some missed opportunities against Lakers, which saw us lose our lead. But long term, definitely, we've got a plan for our club, a strategic plan of where we want to be. Previously, as we mentioned, 10 years ago or so, the netball department at Sebas was running very smoothly and was extremely successful. And our goal is to rebuild, as we have been for the past 4 years, and to get our netball department back up to that level, not only at senior netball, but through the junior ranks as well.
Sure. If I could hand it over to Kirsty now. Perhaps a little bit more of a seasoned affair for Lake Wendouree, regular appearances in the finals for many years now. I guess that's probably something that you'd have to think gives you a bit of an edge going into the weekend's game.
Yes and no. Every finals campaign is very different, and as Georgia mentioned, finals are a new start to the season. It's where the real season really begins. We do have a lot of experienced netballers, and we're looking to draw on that this weekend. But we haven't been really competitive in finals, I would say, over the last couple of years. So we're looking to really do more than just make up the numbers by starting with a win on this weekend.
Yeah, sure. What do you think's perhaps been some of the key reasons why perhaps you haven't been able to make it into those really final games in past few seasons?
Pregnancies.
That'll never help at this time of year, I'm sure.
What's the honest truth? Look, we've, unlike some of the teams like North and East, we've had quite a bit of changeover in players. Whilst we've had a number of girls that have been Lakers for years, we've had 3 or 4 changes up each year. So it's meant that it's taken time for combinations in the team to gel. And that's the same this year, and hopefully we can put it all together when it counts this weekend.
Great. So I guess finally wrapping up, what do you think is going to be the most crucial thing in terms of you getting over the line this weekend? Obviously you've had that result just a couple of weeks ago against Sebas. Was that a confidence builder, or was that almost a warning shot?
It was a learning opportunity. They've improved significantly, and Georgia's done a fantastic job at Sebas. They came out firing, and they were up by 8 goals in the first quarter. So we need to start better, and we need to make sure that we are contesting every ball from the very first whistle. So we learn a lot from that, and hopefully we can put our learnings in place on the weekend.
Back to Georgia, the phrase that Kirsty just used, not there to make up the numbers, even though you finished in I guess the goal certainly isn't to finish here. And what do you think needs to happen this weekend to make sure you're here next week?
Good question. There are lots of things that we've considered coming off our game from Lakers. We'd probably been preparing, I guess, to play Sunbury, and then the surprise result occurred on the weekend. So we've had a bit of a change of plan in the way that we're approaching the game, a different style of game. We were lucky enough to play Lakers only a couple of weeks ago, so that game's still very fresh in our minds. We've analysed the footage that we had from the game, and we're prepared, and I think if we can play the way that we played 2 weeks ago against Lakers, it will be anybody's game. We came out, as Romsey said, right from the first whistle. We attacked both defensively and in our attacking end. We showed lots of patience and control with the ball, yet we were able to utilise a lot of our speed. And I thought we were quite agile in the way that we moved the ball down the court. We've looked a lot earlier in the season at our turnover count and how that was affecting the results that were occurring. It was really costly for us at the beginning of the season. It's something that we've been really working on as the season has progressed. And I think, in the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've played the best netball that we have all season. And I'm so proud of our team and the way they've committed themselves to improving, taking on feedback and using that to improve their performance. And we're working together as a playing group to ensure that our finals campaign doesn't stop this weekend. We're really hungry to see it go further.
Georgia, you mentioned obviously playing much better netball in the second half of the season. How much of that do you put down to, I suppose, continuity and familiarity? You had a couple of new players come into the team this year with obviously Bianca Woods, Nikki Allen coming into the side from outside the structure. Has having those girls in the same positions for 10, 11 weeks, do you think that's really helped you get that really solid performance in the second half of the season?
I think that's a very true statement, definitely. Everybody knows that when you have players, they need time to gel together, and I've heard every coach so far speak about that in terms of their combinations. We identified at the end of last season that there were some key positions where we felt were perhaps a little costly for us, and we needed to go out and find the players to fill those spots and to fill them well. So hence Nikki Allen coming into the defensive end, Bianca Woods stepping into our attacking end. She's got lots of experience, and she's amazingly talented, and the way that she directs a lot of play on the court has been a great bonus for us. And also this year Adriana, my sister, came back in full-time to play every round, and I think putting her into the attacking end has ensured that we've had clear passages of play to the goaling ring, and perhaps for myself has allowed me to just focus on playing my game as well a little bit, and not being so focused on being, I guess, a target down that end. Now we have 2 targets. So look, time together is what every team wants, and we've been lucky enough at this point to hit our straps right when we're coming into finals.
And you look at this weekend, and a team that you obviously know very, very well. A lot of the girls you played a lot of netball with at representative level, and you said you went over the footage from the last game, which I suppose was a real opportunity for you. You were 8 goals up early in the game, and obviously did let it slide, but some really good learnings there against some players that you know well, especially in the attack end. You'll be passing some stuff on to the defenders to how to play, for instance, someone like Mel Allen, who you've played a lot of netball with and against throughout the years, and Molly Boyle at the other end, and obviously Romsey through the middle of the court.
Yeah, Lakers are a well-drilled unit, and we know that, and we know that you can be 8 goals up and lose. And it doesn't matter the margin that you have. Lakers are never going to stop coming at you, and we have to be prepared for that. We can't take our foot off the accelerator at any point. Our focus has been playing 15 minutes of netball at a time. There's been patches where we've been inconsistent, and that has been costly for us. But as I said, coming towards the end of the season, we've been able to rectify that. There are some really strong players in the Lakers team who, as you said, I know very well. Some of them are my very good friends, which makes it all the more challenging when you go to play a game like this. These are people that you spend a lot of time with off the court as well. So, for that hour and a half, it's down to business, and then we step off the court at the end of the game and things go back to normal. But yeah, we've got insider information, but no more than I've got on them, they've got on me. So it's it's all relative in the end.
And I suppose, Romsey, I can't come calling you Kirsty, I'm sorry about that. But Looking at the game this weekend, and obviously you know as well as anybody the inherent advantages of finishing in third spot if you are lucky enough to get through this week. But were you planning to finish in third spot, or was it and planning to play Sebastopol this weekend before last week's game?
Not at all. We were focused on winning the game last week. We didn't expect to finish in third spot, and we probably weren't expecting or hoping to play Sebastian in an elimination round. You wouldn't expect third position to lose to someone outside of the 8 leading into finals, but it is what it is, and we have to play whoever turns up, like the rest of the teams in finals.
And unfortunately, you come into finals with a couple of injury concerns, in particular Cara Hart, who has been seen with her arm in a cast in recent times. How difficult is it going to be to replace somebody of the ilk of Cara Hart? And if you are lucky enough to get past this week, will you see her again in later finals?
We can only hope. At this stage, it's unknown when she'll be back and if she'll be back. The beauty of having Cara as part of the team, whether she's on the court or off the court, is her experience. So while she may be a big loss on court, for me, it's a great relief because I've got some eyes off the court and I can focus on being a player, and she will take over some of the responsibilities of coaching. So whilst it is a big loss, and we pride ourselves on being pretty flexible in terms of the combinations we can have, we will lose a little bit of that, but hopefully we can use her experience and her knowledge on the sidelines just as much as we do on the court.
All good.
Perfect.
Cheers.
Thank you.